Right.
So Sourav Ganguly and Shah have gotten a big relief from the Supreme Court after it ruled in modifying the cool-off period. Now Sourav Ganguly and Shah can continue for 3 years as president and secretary respectively. So till 2025 their places are all but assured. Or is it? Well, latest reports seem to suggest that both Sourav Ganguly and Shah can have a massive role in cricket. It's not just related to the BCCI, but it could also be for world cricket. In the case of Ganguly, it's world cricket. In the case of Shah, there could be an elevation. What is this new role that we're going to talk about in this? Well, as I had mentioned, Sourav Ganguly, Shah to continue as the president and secretary for 3 more years in the BCCI. Supreme Court had modified the cooling off clause yesterday. That was big. That is why all the questions on tenure, whether they could continue or not, all got answered yesterday. And that is why now Sourav Ganguly and Shah could be at the BCCI until 2025. But all that could change because if you have to believe certain sections of the media reports that are filtering in now, Sourav Ganguly could be the new chairman of the ICC. Yes, folks, Sourav Ganguly could be the new chairman of the ICC when the elections take place in November. And if Ganguly goes to the ICC, then who will replace him in the BCCI? It's Shah. Yes. If reports are to be believed, Sourav Ganguly could be made the new ICC chairman, while Shah could be the BCCI president. Within a space of a day, as soon as the cooling off period was modified, this new development might not surprise many people, because this is not the first time that an Indian would head the ICC. Now, there are also going to be big developments in the ICC come November because the elections will be held at that time. The current chairman is Greg Barclay, who was also the director of New Zealand cricket before taking over the ICC post. Now, Barclay, during the recent meeting of the ICC in Birmingham, Barclay said that he wanted to continue for 2 more years as the ICC chairman. But now, it is not going to be very simple because the whole changing of the system in ICC has taken place. The earlier election system was different. This election system is now going to be different. This was approved in the meeting that took place in Birmingham. The earlier election protocol in the ICC had stated that 2/3 of a majority was needed. However, in this case now, in the new election system, the winner will be who receives 51% of the votes. So, there are 16 members in the ICC, 16 core members. If Ganguly gets the support of 9 members, then he has won the ICC chairman post. 9 out of 16 is more than 50 and thus he has secured that vote. And the biggest thing is the BCCI will back Sourav Ganguly. Once the BCCI backs a particular individual, 5 to 6 individual boards who are very well connected with the BCCI will vote in favor of Ganguly. So the decks seem to be clearing for Sourav Ganguly to reportedly take over as the ICC chairman in November. But as I had said, he is not the first Indian to head the top post in the ICC. He will be the 5th. N. Srinivasan, Jagmohan Dalmia, Sharad Pawar and Shashank Manohar were the others who headed the ICC chairman post. Before the ICC chairman post, it was the ICC president. So that changed over a period of time, during the period of Dalmia and Sharad Pawar. So that is the current situation when it comes to Sourav Ganguly. Sourav Ganguly could head to the ICC as the new chairman. But we are waiting on official reports, and maybe in November when the elections are held in the ICC, we'll have a clearer picture. But what about Shah? Because of this cooling off period and that the tenure has now been cleared out, elections will be held in the BCCI now. The AGM will soon be called and fresh elections will be held, and the BCCI, they might hold the AGM around October or maybe after the end of the World T20, maybe. But why is Shah the favorite to get it? Because many members believe that IPL was possible in COVID-19 because of Shah's efforts. Remember, the 2021 edition was held partly in India and partly in the UAE. It was because of Shah's efforts that probably IPL's Dubai edition, the UAE edition was held in September, October, because they were very determined to hold this tournament in stringent biobubble protocols. Of course, in 2021, it did not succeed that well in India because logistical management of the biobubble protocols was proving to be a nightmare. 6 different cities, 48 kinds of biobubbles for different personnel, plus monitoring that became a logistical nightmare, and that is why the IPL was shifted out in the middle session when India was ravaged by the second wave of the pandemic. And to give more credence to Shah, the media rights were sold at a whopping 48,390 crores, and that has enhanced BCCI's coffers to a big extent. So most of the state associations, 15 state associations that are there, they all want Shah to be at the helm. So these are the 2 major developments that have come about in the aftermath of the Supreme Court verdict, wherein the cooling off period is now being modified. Earlier, it was said that 6 years, if a person has served both in the state and in the BCCI, you had to go in the mandatory cooling off period. Now, 6 years in one place is now the criteria. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us for the special live. We'll be back with more updates on sports today. Press the like, comment and share button. We are also there on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram.